One of these blushes cost over $40, the other under $20. It's Friday face-off time, and that means we are testing two products side-by-side comparison on this 50 plus year old face, and we're going to apply them. We're going to learn a little bit more about the ingredients, maybe help understand why one is $42, and then at the end I will have done an 8-hour wear test so that you can see, yeah, they might have looked really comparable when we started, but how did they wear throughout the day? And we're busy. We need to have blush, lipstick, foundation, concealer, all the things. We need to have them all. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55 and we do Friday Face Off every single week now. And if you are an overachiever or an early bird like I am, you can catch them on Thursday because you might not want to wait till Friday. We do side-by-side comparisons. Sometimes the drugstore version is better and looks better. Sometimes the more expensive or the luxury version wears better. We learn together and this blush is no exception. So first, let's meet the contenders. This is the Morphe Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Blush. This comes in 7 shades and it comes in 3 different formulas. The top one is very much a creamy formula. This center one here is a powder to cream formula, and this last one is definitely a powder formula. This sells for $19. On this side, the Natasha Denona High Glam Blush sells for $42. The blush is a cream formula, and the highlight side is a creamy powder to cream formula. Both products are cruelty-free, so let's get into some application. I like the fact that both of these have a cream formula in them because those of us with more mature skin, we know that cream formulas are definitely the way to go. Doing research on these two products, both of their blush formulas contain wax and oils, which is good news for our more mature skin. It means that both formulas avoid that dry, chalky look. Now that is a gorgeous shade. I think we need to add just a little bit more. Both of these products also contain silica, which helps give that soft blur to the skin and also helps control shine. Before we go to the highlight, I'm going to switch to the Natasha Denona side because one of the things that's interesting about these products is they have a very similar pigment structure, meaning they both rely on iron oxides, red lakes, and titanium dioxide to give their long-lasting color. So when it comes to pigments, it's a very similar structure between the two. The bigger difference comes from the base formula, not the pigment quality. The Natasha Denona side contains squalane and plant waxes and starches, which means it's going to feel more nourishing to the skin. It's going to move with the skin and it's going to melt into the skin instead of sitting on top of it. I'm applying both of these with the Nikki LaRose In20. When I apply blush, I prefer to start really light and then go in and build it up because once you have too much blush, working that around and diffusing it can take a while. I like this dual fiber brush when it comes to applying brush because it helps soften that edge so that you really can't see where the blush stops and your foundation or your concealer or even your bronzer starts. It just diffuses that outer edge, which is the last thing that I do after applying blush, is I go in with little small swirls around the edge, if you will, of the blush, just to make sure that it's really softly diffused. Now drilling down into the ingredients of the Morphe blush, it contains silicone cross polymers, which means you'll get a smoother initial glide, it's gonna set more firmly, and it will have a little tendency to create a film on the skin. So looking at the base ingredients, the Morphe side is gonna create a professional, more long-lasting look, but can emphasize texture if it's over-applied. The Natasha Denona side is gonna stay more flexible, doesn't fully set, and looks more like skin when you're close up. Now having a blurring effect in your blush can be impactful because your texture typically will show right on these cheeks as well as your chin and some other areas. But because the skin is typically a little tighter around your cheekbone, you will have a little bit more texture. So blush formulas that have a blurring effect, that's definitely in our favor. The Natasha Denona side uses cornstarch, silica, and algae extract, which gives you that soft focused blur without the drying effect. The Morphe blush uses silica and silicone powders, which does blur, but can also catch on any dry spots or any peach fuzz that you have. Now, we like products that can do more than just one thing, so let's talk a little bit about the skincare that are in both of these products. Natasha Denona has squalane, which is supportive and conditioning to your skin's barrier. Morphe has wild yam root extract, which has lightweight hydration but is a little less nourishing. So now let's finish off these two looks with a little bit of highlight. I mean, you guys, I can just tell you how much I'm gonna love this. As of late, I've been liking to put my highlighter just a little bit more in the center of my face and then move it up towards my temple. I just feel like a little brightness right through here, not too much, but just a little bit. Gives a 2026 update to my look. Now on the Morphe side, this highlight is definitely a cream, where that Natasha Denona is more of a powder to cream. So you just need to know that when you apply it, it's definitely highlight. So a little goes a long way. You can see the texture in my skin or the pores on that Morphe side. While it is really pretty, it definitely accentuates the pores. You could use less than I just did, or skip the highlight altogether and just use these two different blush shades. Upon application, both are really pretty. In fact, I'm surprised how close the two shades match on my face for how different they are in the container. So again, this is Sweet Cheeks and this is Après Ski. After application, I like the way they both look. I definitely can see my pores a little bit more on this side, but I did use some of that highlighter, and if you used a little less, you might be okay. Or if you just use it right up here. I just have larger pores right here, so adding that highlighter wasn't the best idea, but I did add the highlighter on the Natasha Denona side, and my pores aren't front and center like they are on the Morphe side. So let's see what these two cruelty-free products bring us in about 8 hours. So let's do an 8-hour review on these two blushes. I have to say, you guys, if you've ever looked across the room and saw someone's blush and you thought, gosh, that is just really beautiful. It just looks like a flush of color and it doesn't look like they have really any product on. It just looks like fleshy toned skin. I really feel like they're wearing this Natasha Denona one, because all day long I kept looking in the mirror going, that just looks so beautiful. It looks like a light flush of color. There's a little bit of a glow to it, not a shine, not a shimmer, not a highlight, but just a beautiful glow. Like I have really healthy skin underneath it, which it's not that healthy. So I really, really love this. The Morphe side, I would say, is also very nice, but when we did that deep dive into the ingredients, it really does tell the story of what you're paying for. The pigment makeup of both of these products are pretty similar, which is why we still see equal amount of payoff that we started with 8 hours ago. I think where the real difference comes from is the Morphe side does tend to sit a little bit more on top of the skin, where the Natasha Denona melts into the skin and just becomes part of my overall look. I do think that this one highlighted the pores a little bit more. You saw I built it up to give a little bit more of a color payout, but if you just wanted a little less color, I think you'd be okay for 8+ hours. I just like it to look a little bit more, yeah, like blush. But I also found that the highlighter on this side did accentuate the texture to my face, which for me, I really don't love that. Many of Morphe's new products are really beautiful. I'm loving their cream eyeshadow. You guys know I love that. Their brushes have been really impressive lately. Their powder eyeshadows, stunning. This I'm just not a big fan of, because I don't like to add emphasis on the texture of my face, especially the pores. This Natasha Denona side, although it is $42, I just feel like it's that magic that we've been looking for. When you see that really pretty blush on someone, you're like, what are they wearing? How did they apply that? It looks so good. You saw it wasn't really that hard to apply it. I just applied a little bit and then added that highlighter, and I feel like I got a professional looking blush. So while the drugstore usually wins out in these, I think in this product line, in this category, when you're looking at cream blushes, it was the Natasha Denona for the win. If you're looking for more product ideas that aren't quite as expensive, then check out this video. It is some of my absolute favorite products of 2025. Don't forget, Friday face-offs are now every single week, so be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you like the content, I encourage you to become a channel ambassador. It's 99 cents a month, just $12 for the entire year to help support the growth of the channel, and I appreciate you being a channel ambassador. I think we're about 50 strong right now, so thanks so much. I look forward to seeing more of you, and I will see you guys in just a couple days. Bye-bye.